A page in video gaming history is turning during this period of financial crisis. Microsoft has announced the closing of the Aces studio, which developed the Flight Simulator series. A bitter pill to swallow for fans of flight simulation, which is a real gutter for flight sim, which has been the game of reference since its first version back in 1982. It has been announced that the development teams will work on other multiplayer games without abandoning the aerial simulations, but most likely with less technical approach. While waiting, FSX is the last version of the series, and this is the only official extension on offer from the Microsoft studios. Acceleration is its name, and it injects a large dose of action into the original game. The pack includes 3 new and first cabin aircrafts, the P-51D Mustang, an F-18 Hornet, and an Augusta EH-101. The majority of the new missions to be completed are reserved for the 2 airplanes and a helicopter. The Augusta takes the player on search and rescue flights with a new winching innovation, and it can get pretty intense trying to pull off these delicate maneuvers. With the F-18, the player will have to master takeoffs and landings on an aircraft carrier. These maneuvers, which are broken down into several stages, require a player to configure the touch commands accordingly. The catapult takeoff is nothing more than a formality, and while the animation is somewhat cursory, there is a certain amount of pleasure at the moment of acceleration. Landing is quite another matter. Just as you think you're going to crash, all the flaps and the other landing gear come to the rescue. This is when things get intense, because the massive aircraft carrier looks to be the size of a postage stamp, and when you are grabbed by the cables, you get a massive rush of deceleration. With a little practice, it does become easier, and sometimes you can try for an approach that could be deemed just a bit optimistic. Other than these procedures, the operations are based on surveillance, interception, and escorting. And there are chances to watch the launching of a satellite, a space shuttle landing, or other ET-like phenomena. All of which adds to the fun with Flight Simulator. And there's also fun to be had with the P-15 Mustang and its online races. Taking its inspiration from the Reno Air races, here the goal is to win the race through the pylons. It goes in circles much like a NASCAR race, with a few subtleties like managing engine performance in real time. The Extra 300, also included in the FSX, is also concerned by this multiplayer mode and simulates the spectacular Red Bull races. This time it is somewhat comparable to F1, with extremely lightweight and agile planes that compete on a complex and narrow course. These races are held at the lowest possible altitude and to pass through the pylons that can fortunately be torn apart. Overall, FSX Acceleration provides new possibilities to game players, whether it be solo or online, with a more fun approach to the simulator. Fans of this game should find plenty of inspiration from the mods, and at least we can do is salute what was the greatest saga in flight simulation.